Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel again. It's Cloud Institution. So today in this video we're going to see about AWS real-time interview question on S3 bucket versioning. Okay, so the question for the day today is that, so what is S3 versioning? Okay, so if you can ask me the question again, what is S3 bucket versioning, right? So we can also include S3 bucket versioning. So what is S3 bucket versioning? So S3 versioning helps you keep multiple variant of an object in the same bucket and can be used to preserve, retrieve, and restore every version of every version of object stored in the S3 bucket. Okay, so what happens is that, okay, so if you can, let's go back to our AWS console and see where the S3 bucket versioning will be enabled. Okay, so let's see, for example, S3. If you click on S3, okay, you can just see the S3 bucket. Okay, okay, there is no S3 bucket that is available. Okay, I'm going to create a bucket. So the moment when you're click on create a bucket, it'll give you all the options, so bucket name and object ownership and all these things, right? So you can see, okay, you can see there is an option like this is the bucket versioning. Okay, what happens when you enable this bucket versioning? The versioning is a mean of keeping a multiple version variant of an object in the same bucket. Okay, you can use the versioning to preserve, retrieve, and store every version of object stored in your S3 bucket. So what happens is that, for example, I'm going to give you an example. Okay, let's say example. So this is your bucket. Okay, so let's say this is your bucket. So what are you going to do is that you're going to you're going to save some file. Okay, so let's say for example this is your file. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that, so this file is empty for now. Okay, I'm going to add as a initial thing. Okay, I'm going to add 1 2 3. Okay, and the next line I'm going to add 3 4 5. Okay, so here I'm going to have 4 5 6, something like this, right? So now my file is having the content like this. Okay, so now whenever I edited it and I've stored it, okay, so this copy will be available. Okay, so let's say for example this is the version 1, this kind of version 1. Okay, so after save this file, okay, so when I come back to the next time and I'm trying to start editing this file, okay, it open for edit. Now what happened is that it will be going to save the same numbers again, and additionally, okay, it's going to be having 1 2 3 1 2 3 and 3 4 5 3 4 5 and then 4 5 6 4 5 6. Okay, additionally, so this is already there, right? So it's going to be having a additional numbers, the 7 8 9. Okay, for example, it's going to be happening the number, but you will be having a two version of the files. Okay, so whenever you just edit and save the file, you must be having only one file, right? But now what's happening is that you'll be having a two files. So one is the version 1, which has been created, okay, in the initially with with all your data, whatever you have, just have it, right? So now whenever you add some kind of files over here, okay, so whenever you have some kind of files over here, so what happening is that it's going to create a two versions. Okay, so now when you save it, okay, now again if you're editing the same file again the next time, what happens is that it's going to be adding all this content. Okay, so 1 2 3, okay, so 1 2 3 and then 3 4 5 and 3 4 5 and then 4 5 6 and 4 5 6 and then 7 8 9 7 8 9 and then again 0 1 2, for example, right? So now this is going to be marked as a version 3. Now what happens is that you have a three files, okay, of the same object. Okay, so what's the advantage of this one? Okay, so this particular versioning concept has been highly used in Terraform. So if you know Terraform, okay, so Terraform state file will be saved in S3 bucket. Okay, so for example, I have the state. Okay, let's say for example this is the Terraform state file. Okay, so the Terraform state file will be saved in this bucket. So for example, my infrastructure. Okay, for let's say for example I'm just running a Terraform from here. Okay, this is the Terraform. Okay, this is Terraform. So I'm running a Terraform from here. So what happens is that whenever I'm just modifying, whenever I'm just deploy for first time. So deploy for the first time. So what happens is that it's going to create a state file 1. Okay, so because it has been versioning is enabled, so whenever I deploy it for a second time, okay, so the execution one and then execution two. So whenever I'm going to execute second time, it's going to be creating this file. Okay, whenever I'm creating, executing third time, it's going to be creating this file. So in the third time, okay, it's kind of a second time, okay, second deploy and third deploy. So whenever I'm just deploying for the third time, okay, if I face some kind of issues, okay, if I face some kind of issues like, so I'm not able to, so the state file is got corrupted. Okay, let's say for example, this is the state file, and if this state file is got corrupted, okay, I'm not be able to deploy my applications. What you can do in this case is that you can just point out your state file, the state file to the second version. Okay, you can start using this one. So the only difference what you will be having is that only the small changes whatever you made it in the recent commits. Okay, so in the same way you can just have the backup of, so a backup of this your mission critical application data to save your state files. So this is a really good example of a Terraform versioning. So Terraform, Terraform state file versioning, right? So you can just version the state file, if you have a lot of money, and then you can just save it for a month of a time, so that it will be really useful. But otherwise, you can keep the retention time for 7 days or 8 days, where so all the latest files will be saved. Okay, this is really important. This is really important concept that so why the version Terraform version will be used. Okay, so this is what Terraform versioning, and you will be able to enable Terraform bucket versioning over here. Sorry, so this is S3 bucket versioning, right? So this is the S3 bucket versioning. So the S3 bucket versioning will be able to enable over here like this. Okay, so if you can enable like this, and if you create a S3 bucket, okay, so it's going to be enable the versioning for your objects. Okay, so this is what the answer for this question. What is S3 bucket versioning? Okay, so hope you understand this concept, and we're going to see you in the next video with various different kind of questions. And hope you like this video, and if you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Okay, see you again in the next video. Okay, thank you so much.